Good afternoon and welcome to Euro 2024 Live as the round of 16 continues. Yesterday we saw Switzerland and Germany progress to the last 8. Italy, the champions, knocked out, and Denmark, last time round semi-finalists, also on the chopping block. It's last time round runners-up next against Slovakia, a side who well performed in Group E, having already beaten Belgium on the run to this point. We will watch Spain take on Georgia, one of the best performing sides in the tournament so far. Spain against Georgia, who are the story of the tournament. That's a bit later on. But England, who never won this competition, and their best performance was the last time out, when they got to the final on home turf and lost it on penalties. Horror and history rearing its ugly head for the Three Lions. They'll be hoping they can bury that history and put new history into the books here in Germany. This afternoon, Gareth Southgate has just made one change. We'll get the team news for you in a second. But will it improve English performance that has been heavily criticised both by the English media and European media, with the fact that they were one of the favourites but haven't shown what they're capable of just yet? Can they do it this afternoon? We will see. Let's have a look at this afternoon's teams then, and we'll start with Gareth Southgate's England, which, as I said, have just one change from that 0-0 draw on match day 3. Jordan Pickford continues in goal, a back four of Kyle Walker, John Stones, Mark Guehi and Kieran Trippier, all unchanged since the very first game of the tournament. Kobbie Mainoo is that only change. He joins Declan Rice in that defensive midfield role in that double pivot, after looking a lot more balanced in the latter stages of their third group game against Slovenia. England not scoring, but Mainoo certainly added a lot for that England performance. And an unchanged front four as well. Jude Bellingham in the 10, Phil Foden off the left, Bukayo Saka off the right, and captain Harry Kane leading the line. On the bench for England, Ramsdale, Henderson, Shaw, Alexander-Arnold, Konsa, Gomez, Dunk, Bowen, Palmer, Ozil, Wharton, Gallagher, Tony, Watkins and Gordon. Shaw, by the way, there was a bit of good information about him. He is on the bench. He wasn't on the bench for Slovenia. He's on the bench and could make an appearance, says Gareth Southgate before kickoff. For Slovakia, they came into this one, as I said, having got 4 points out of a possible 9 from their group and got off to a perfect start against Belgium, one of the highest ranked teams in Europe. They start with Martin Dubravka in goal, a back four of Peter Pekarik, Denis Vavro, Milan Skriniar and David Hansko, the resilient back four of Slovakia. Stanislav Lobotka, Andrzej Duda and Juraj Kuška continuing midfield, with that front three of Ivan Šranc, Lukáš Harišlin and David Strelic leading the line. On the bench for Slovakia, Ravas, Rodak, DeMarco, Gyomber, Obert, Kosa, Bero, Benes, Suslov, Rigo, Horovsky, Bojnik, Sower, Durish and Tupta. Gareth Southgate and Francisco Calzona hoping their sides can make the last 8. England, who had to beat Germany to get to that point last time round, you'd be a kid to say that Slovakia aren't easier than that. But they're not going to be an easy task for the Three Lions. Kick-off in Gelsenkirchen is next. Good afternoon and welcome to Euro 2024 Live for our first game of the day, and one that is an intriguing one. England, who haven't performed to their very best so far on all three of their group games, but did finish top of Group C. We'll see how they do in the knockout format. They performed well before. They got to the final at Euro 2020 with home help, and they'll be hoping that they can do it on foreign turf here this afternoon. Interestingly, their only win of the tournament so far, England, came inside this stadium in the ArenaAufSchalke in Gelsenkirchen when they beat Serbia by a 0-0 on match day 1. Jude Bellingham's first half goal secured the 3 points for England on that occasion. But it's all about that belief from Gareth Southgate, that kind of not wanting to make too many changes, to decide to stay consistent. Again, 10 of the 11 players that started against Slovenia continue here this afternoon. As I said, only Kobbie Mainoo is that only change to the England side in midfield, trying to offer a bit of balance. It's actually the only position that Gareth Southgate has changed since the very start of the tournament. 3 different players in that role. Initially, it was Trent Alexander-Arnold. Then Conor Gallagher got 45 minutes in that position against Slovenia before Kobbie Mainoo got the second half in the similar role against Slovenia. So ultimately there has been some swapping of that role alongside Declan Rice, but everyone else stayed exactly the same. And that type of kind of consistently knowing who's going to play alongside you and in the team with you will help improve performances, but it's whether England have got that balance right. That's been all the talk about England since the very start of the tournament. They're not getting enough down the left-hand side, but they did top their group, and they're into the round of 16, which is all that matters at this moment. Pickford pings it forward. Bellingham tried to flick it on to Harry Kane, but well closed down by Lobotka. Pekarik on the right-hand side here to get Slovakia forward. Tried to go for the link-up with Schrantz there. Just got a bit of miscommunication from the Slovakian players. But ultimately, England coming into this one will feel that they should have enough to get past Slovakia. But at knockout football, it's anybody's game. Yes, you may be the best side, maybe the better side ultimately on paper. But how many times have we seen in this tournament, it's not as simple as that. A nice ball out to Trippier on the left. Tried to send Foden down the line, but back it comes to Trippier. Now Rice. Mainoo. One thing about England as well, it's how slow and laboured their football has been in possession at times in the group. Oh, as they have a mistake there, and the ball's given away, and Guehi's going to have to take one for the team here and get a yellow card, which is not good news for England, because Mark Guehi was already on a yellow coming into this one, which means he will miss the quarter-final tie if England were to progress. It's good pressure from Slovakia there. Kieran Trippier forced into passing it back to his teammate Mark Guehi, and ultimately Slovakia had a player chasing in, I think it was Strelic, chasing in and winning that free kick. Really good pressing. Now they have the chance from a set piece. Get themselves up the field to play. England who've had the majority of the early possession. Slovakia's chance to get a ball forward into a good area. Try and test this English defence. It'll be Duda to take. Duda with a delivery. The flick on is off target. The flag was up anyway. See it again. Really good delivery by Duda into the box, and it was Strelic that got on the end of it. Got the flick on. Just collided in there with Kuchka. Ultimately off target, but the flag was up in any case against Slovakia there. A decent delivery by Duda. Duda, of course, getting Slovakia's goal against Romania in their 1-1 draw. He opened the scoring actually in that one for Razvan Marin's equalising penalty for Romania. Brought it back to 1-1, but taking the lead in a number of their games, and here they come again. Here's Harrislin. Bodies flooding forward in blue. Harrislin round the corner, looking for the ball across, and David Anshko almost slicing it across goal, but just the wrong side of the post. Good counter-attacking from Slovakia there, down the left-hand side. On the turn was Harrislin. Hansko on the overlap, gets the pass into space, and he just tried to square it across the 6-yard box. Yeah, he's squaring it across, and no one there to follow it in. Schrantz was too far away, and Strelic couldn't reach. Just evaded Jordan Pickford. I went the wrong side of the post there for Slovakia for a goal kick. That'll be an early worry and warning sign for England that despite probably having quality, the better of the quality, Slovakia are well capable of counter-attacking and threatening you from those positions. They've got pace in the final third, which they've shown to all of their opponents so far in this tournament. Slovakia. Walker pings forward. Saka, nice tick down. Up against Hansko. Gets beaten past, does Hansko. Nice. Saka looks to cut it back. Bellingham. Pipped away. Mainu will recycle. Saka again. Into Mainu. Trying to go for the 1-2. Here's Saka. Closed down. And just about hooked away by Slovakia as one of their players ends up on the floor, and another yellow card's coming out. The referee having none of it. I think Kobbie Mainu is the one that's got that yellow card there. So 2 England players inside 6 minutes on a yellow. See it again. It's Duda that clears. Yeah, and it's a late a late right foot there from Kobbie Mainu. Yeah. That was a foul. Skriniar. Back to Dubravka. Martin Dubravka, of course, well known to Premier League fans. Newcastle keeper. Be well known to the England players. Many will have played against him in the Premier League. Skriniar, nice work to step into midfield. That's a really nice turn by Harrislin. Again, Rice trying to drop back. Here's Kuchka. Look at the lifted across. Strelic chests it down. Harrislin with a nice touch, and the shot blocked. Kuchka will deliver again, and that one just ahead of Strelic and goes behind for a goal kick. But really energetic start from both teams. Both trying to go for that early killer goal. Both feel that they can get it. But they're flying forward with a lot of pace. And they've been impressive, Slovakia, in this tournament. You know, ranked 45th in the world, not one of the kind of heavy hitters, shall we say. There are actually only 2 teams that started the tournament, that qualified for this tournament, that are lower ranked than them, and they're both, that's Slovenia and Georgia, who both made it through, by the way, into the knockouts. So they're not up there as one of the top sides in the tournament. Slovakia, 45th in the world, compared to England's 5th ranked in world football. I haven't used that in any case, Slovakia, as an excuse. They've done their talking on the pitch. Bellingham, nice ball across. Here's Trippier, sorry, and he absolutely skies that one. Nowhere near the goal. Nice idea between the lines. Good work from Bellingham, just threaded it through. Don't know whether Trippier was the target, but he was the one that found the end of it. He completely fluffed his lines there and sent it flying into the stands behind that goal. Oh, that's an interesting one. Skriniar taking the goal kick here. Not often you see that nowadays. Centre-backs taking goal kicks, but interesting. Schrantz battling there with Bellingham. Does well to win against Bellingham. Nice Strelic. Back it comes to Schrantz and can't find a teammate. Saka there to intercept. Mainu. Rice. Bellingham. Out to the left-hand side of Trippier. Down the line to Foden. Back to Trippier. 10 minutes gone in the ArenaAufSchalke in Gelsenkirchen. And it is 0-0 between England and Slovakia, but both sides have started on the front foot. And here come England into a bit of space. Kane, edge of the box, squares it across to Walker. Bodies in the box to try and find. Walker with a delivery. Not a great delivery. Cleared away. Trippier. Rice doing just enough there. Mainu. Out to the right now. It's better play from England in between the lines. Walker now to Saka. It's better attacking football. Back it comes to Walker. Was eyeing up the cross. Squares it across to Mainu. Rice looking for the ball over the top, but just ahead of Kyle Walker. Goal kick Slovakia, but better play from England. The approach play a lot more fluid, a lot more comfortable, a lot stronger. Could be Kobbie Mainu that has made the difference so far. He's picked up in that pocket, in and around the edge of the box at times when England go wide with the ball, adding that extra bit of pressure on the Slovakian defence. So that's a nice ball from Dubravka, and Strelic has found the breakthrough here, and here's Harrislin in behind. He gets past his man, and the cutback somehow had stayed out. I think Pickford got some sort of contact on that one as Duda goes down, and the referee's going to give Slovakia the free kick. Goodness me, not often you see Kyle Walker get beaten for pace, but he was there. Let's just see that Duda was just clipped there by Bellingham. That's what got Slovakia the free kick. But really good hold-up play by Strelic. Found the ball in behind. Harrislin made the run in behind Walker. Got inside, and I think Guehi comes across to make the block. He does. It deflects off Walker back towards his own goal, and then has to be cleared by Trippier as it was Schrantz was there at the back post, threatening. That was a big chance for Slovakia. And England throwing bodies on the line to deny them a clear shot at goal. They have a free kick here. Very even first 12.5 minutes here in Gelsenkirchen. Harrislin with the delivery. Cleared away by Stones. Not a great bit of heading there from Lobotka, as there's a challenge there. A crunching challenge ultimately on one of England's players from Kuchka. And it's going to be an England free kick, and I think Juraj Kuchka has just got a yellow card as well for his troubles. See that again, yeah, it was just a foul on Kieran Trippier. Right through the back of the England left back. There's a foul. Certainly a dramatic start to this one. 3 yellow cards. 2 for England, 1 for Slovakia. Trippier. Ball over the top, run, 1 for Foden to chase. Foden will get there, looked across it to Saka at the far post, but well covered over by David Hansko to clear it out for the throw-in. Again, good play down that left-hand side. Trippier going for the long ball. Foden trying to beat Pekarik for pace, and just got in behind, tried to kind of flick it across for Saka at the back post, but Hansko had it covered. Again, better play from England on those moments. Trippier to John Stones. Guehi. Rice back to Stones. It's all about finding that balance for England. All the talk of maybe we're sitting too deep beforehand. Their defending was very strong, but going forward they were struggling. So far in this one it is quite open. Some would argue their defence has been quite open and quite vulnerable at times. It's about finding that very, very narrow balance in between both. They will certainly click on that moment. Walker. Down the line it comes. Saka holding off Hansko. Back it comes to Walker. It goes across to John Stones. Manchester City teammates, of course. Walker and Stones. Trippier. Back to Mark Guehi. Bellingham. Come a bit deeper there to lay the ball off. Stones. Walker. Again. Have to go all the way back here, England. They're pushing deep here. Slovakia covering over those spaces through the middle, allowing England those passes to break out. Trippier though. Foden. Back to Guehi again. It's all about that movement in between the lines as Stones tries to break that. Slow bit of movement. Try to find Saka down the right flank, but completely overhit that pass as it goes all the way out for a goal kick to for a throw-in, to Slovakia in their own half. Hansko, nice work again in between the lines. Here's ArenaAufSchalke driving in field, and he was completely upended there by Jude Bellingham. And Bellingham's going to be the next one that's going to have a yellow card shown to him. Bellingham adamant that he got the ball, but I mean, I don't know why everybody continues to argue that case. It doesn't make a difference whether you got the ball or not. There's not a point. He didn't get the ball anyway. He does upend the man. It is a foul. It is a yellow card. There's not much argument that Bellingham can have there. He locked knees and then kind of swiped his boot as well in the process on ArenaAufSchalke there. Certainly not in agreement with the referee, Jude Bellingham. And referee, by the way, Halil Umut Meller from Turkey. Has refereed 2 games in the tournament previously. Certainly not good news for England fans, because one of his previous games that he refereed was a Slovakia win when they beat Belgium on match day 1 in Group E. The other was Austria's 3-1 win over Poland. It's Bakarik. Back to Vavro. Across to Skriniar. Just over 17 minutes gone. England 0, Slovakia 0. Skriniar breaking forward. Hansko down the left to Skriniar. Held off well by Menu, but Hansko will receive it as it comes back again to Vavro. Skriniar again, trying to feed it down that narrow path there in between the England players, but Walker got covered. Hansko now the furthest forward for Slovakia. He's roaming free here. He's chasing the ball as England have it at the back. Stones. Bellingham. Walker. Looking for options, Kyle Walker. Has to square it across the Stones. There's not many showing in midfield for England. Rice, Menu and Bellingham all hiding behind Slovakian players at the moment. Need to show themselves. Saka comes down the wide area. Back to Menu. Maybe a bit of space now as Rice takes a touch backwards. He was pressed there by Lobotka. Walker will try and go for Trippier on the far left hand side, and he will get the throw in out of that one. Trippier, as he won the header. Ultimately it did come off Pekarik last. Menu. Down the line to Saka. Bodies arriving for England in the box. Saka trying to find one of them as Hansko follows him all the way through. Saka comes across midfield now. Rice. Foden to Trippier. Back to Declan Rice. Lifted into the box, and Bellingham had made the run, but again Slovakia heading it clear. Hansko trying to knock forward. Strelic was in the vicinity, and John Stones didn't know that he was there. Now Duda. Kuchka. Fabulous challenge by Declan Rice. He got all ball, but Ultimately, Kuchka ends up on the floor. Still in a bit of pain here at the moment. Juraj Kuchka. Wonderful challenge by Declan Rice. That's a wonderful challenge. Timed it to perfection. Had to. Otherwise, Slovakia would have been in a very good position. 20 minutes gone. And it's still goalless between England and Slovakia. As they try and switch that ball across to the right-hand side from Skriniar. Sailed over the head of Pekaric. England throw. Kobbie Mainoo. Trippier down the line to Foden, but nowhere for Foden to turn. They have to come back again, England. To Guehi. Trippier. Back it comes again to Guehi. Across the stones. There are some brighter moments in the game for England. There are brighter spells, but at the moment still not quite there yet. Slovakia still showing a lot of good play. As Walker, almost gets himself in a bit of trouble there. Well dealt with by Rice. And now England can come forward down the left. Trippier. Mainoo. Again, as the game slows a bit. Walker. Mainoo. Out wide it goes to Trippier again. Stones. Just passing that around at the moment. That ball in behind. Foden to chase. Vavro will have that one dealt with very well. Kuchka tries to go forward, but given away in midfield, and Rice can now feed it forward to Bellingham, who rides over the challenge. Bellingham, Foden can't reach it, goes down. Referee will keep it going at the moment. Bellingham tried to square it across. Back it comes to Trippier with a delivery, and Kane. Took a deflection off Harry Kane, and will go for the corner. See this, England wanted a penalty there a moment or two ago. See again, good work from Bellingham to ride the challenge. Find Foden, 6 of one, half dozen the other. Andre Duda trying to defend, and Foden does go down, but it's not a penalty. England will get the corner though. Harry Kane's header did come off the left shoulder of David Hansko. So a corner it will be for Slovakia to defend, but been a better moment for England. In between the lines. Waiting for that opening and keeping the pressure on when it doesn't work, if it doesn't work first time round. Trippier over to take this corner, right hand side. Corner taken short. Saka with delivery. Vavro got up there with a head. Slovakia failed to clear their lines, and Mainoo had an effort from the edge of the box that just goes wide. But again, good pressure from England. Not allowing Slovakia to easily clear their lines and get free. Keeping the pressure on, penning them in. Wasn't convincing defensively there from Slovakia, and Kobbie Mainoo had a half-decent effort from the edge of the box. That goes wide. That was better from England. You have to agree. Although that wasn't good from Guehi. As the ball comes out to ArenaAufSchalke on the left hand side, as a couple of blue shirts running into the final third. Hansko waiting for his option, and Duda. Lobotka. ArenaAufSchalke. Good play from Slovakia. Just to retain possession and keep England in their own half at the moment. Give them a bit of defending to do. Vavro. Just to ping it forward into an area. Strelic with a flick on. Ball's in behind. Now it's through to Schrantz. 1-0. Ivan Schrantz gives Slovakia the lead. The man who's done it for Slovakia all the way through the tournament steps up again 3 in 4 games. He got the winner against Belgium. And here's the opening goal in Gelsenkirchen against England. England have played better, but when their moment have come, they haven't found the net just yet. And one good moment from Slovakia. Hopeful ball forward by Vavro. Flicked on there, and Strelic just took it down, took his time, and fed it through in behind for Ivan Schrantz, making the run. No one marking him. He tries to have a half-hearted attempt, but it's too late. Ivan Schrantz was through, and he just slotted it past Jordan Pickford to give Slovakia the lead. And this is not good. And that is a big moment for Slovakia, ranked 45th in the world. Many wouldn't even have given them a chance of getting out of the group. Never mind to get to the knockouts. And they now have a lead in the round of 16 against England. There's a stoppage here at the moment as Mark Guehi just receives a bit of treatment. But again, it was just a hopeful ball forward. England don't deal with it well. And the fact that they allow him time and space, it's just a battle between Guehi and Kuchka. I mean, that was a slight collision. Just a stray arm from Kuchka, but he wins the ball. It's fair. There's not a foul in there, but it just does catch Mark Guehi on the way through, and that's why he had to receive that treatment. But that's where England kind of were caught out. Didn't win the first ball, didn't win the second ball, allowed them time and space and didn't mark the runners. I mean, it's basics in defending, but it was really well worked by Slovakia. And from a moment of nothing, Harishlin again takes it down, tried to square it across first time. Okay, who's back on the field, picked it up for England. It's now needing to come from behind, which they haven't been behind so far in the tournament, England. They took the lead against Serbia and never give it away. They took the lead against Denmark and ended up drawing 1-1. And in that 0-0 draw, of course, with Slovenia. So this is the first time that they've been behind. First time they've really had to call upon their character and their mentality. Slovakia side that defended so stubbornly to that 1-goal lead that they had against Belgium in the group. They struggled a bit more against Ukraine. Ended up losing from that leading position. And ended up drawing as well when they went in front in their third group game. So not a certainty that when Slovakia do lead that they will continue to go on to win. So far, the same trends follow. They've gone ahead in all 4 of their games so far, Slovakia, so certainly not a coincidence. It's all about England not making too much of it. Not making a mountain out of a molehill, as they say. It's only 1 goal. Still a long way to go in this game. Not to panic would be the idea. Here comes Phil Foden. Stones. Walker. Again, as England try and switch it. Hansko there to break it apart. But nowhere to go there for Harishlin. He's closed off the ball. Bellingham to pick it up for England to try and drive forward. Not many options open, but he does find Saka on the right flank. Saka again well closed down, that time by Harishlin, but the Slovakian had the last touch, which means England will get the throw. This they take quickly. No waiting around. And a long way to go yet. Ball comes out to Trippier. Steps in field. Finds Foden. Again, not given the time and space on the ball. And well closed down. Schrantz tracking back. Vavro to send it up into the air. As Kuchka tries head forward. Duda. And at 50-50. Strelic won the header, but could only head it out of play. Seems like Slovakia at the moment are getting the better of those 50-50s. Those duels both on the ground and aerially. That's how they ended up scoring their goal. Something that England will need to touch up upon and tidy up. Need to start winning those first and second balls in the air, but also winning their 50-50s on the ground. That was good pressure on Dubravka there, forcing him to put it out for the throw. 30 gone in Gelsenkirchen. England 0, Slovakia 1. First goal we've seen from a designated away side in the round of 16. So Switzerland 1-2-0, Germany 1-2-0. Both were the designated home sides. Remember, the winner of this game, whether it be England or Slovakia, will play Switzerland in the quarterfinals. Switzerland, who made it really tough and looked really, really strong against Italy yesterday. It won't be an easy task for either of these two when they get to the quarterfinals, whichever one of them does so. Bellingham plays forward. Saka in the space in the right channel. Saka across and tried to find Foden at the back post, but just overhit that one as it's kept in field by Trippier. Foden as Kane to deliver. Too much, too high for Saka or Bellingham in there. It goes behind for a goal kick. Decent pressure, but Kane to deliver there. See again, it's not a bad cross, but Saka was trying to reach, just too high for him. Southgate, who was sitting down for a lot of the first 20 minutes or so. Ever since they've gone behind, he's been a lot more kind of instructive, shall we say, from the sidelines. Using his voice more. Lobotka. Back to Vavro as England try and press Slovakia. Vavro forced long. Will come all the way through to John Stones. As the press worked out there for England, they won the ball back. Clearly showing that if you do press high, you can squeeze the opposition. Obviously, it's basics of football, but they haven't been doing it enough, England, so far in any of their games, as they again give it away unnecessarily. They do win it back as Slovakia have nowhere to go. Benu. I'm going to switch it across. Nice work from Saka to chest it down. Under a challenge of Hansko. Referee said it was a fair challenge. Strelic, heavy touch. Took it away from him. And England can get it forward. Menu, Kane trying to go long. Hooked away by Vavro. Although it comes all the way back to Kane. Now Rice. To Trippier. Foden. Between the lines to Bellingham. Now Trippier again. Bellingham. Picking up into the edge of the box. Driving into the box is Bellingham. Tried to put the cross in. Blocked well by Pekaric. Will be an England corner. Better work from Bellingham. See what he was capable of at Real Madrid. Just those runs into the box. Carrying the ball forward. Positive play again from Jude Bellingham. And wins England the corner on the left-hand side. So there's a lot of bodies in that 6-yard box. 11 of them on outfield players, 12 in total, including the keeper. As the cross comes in, and there's near post threatening. Vavro got the header on it to clear it behind. Decent delivery by Trippier. Kane was there just behind Vavro, and he had to make that header. Harry Kane was lurking. And we'll have another corner, England. Exactly the same side. Trippier will try and do the same again as he delivers in. The referee's just going to stop for a free kick. for Slovakia. It was always going wide anyway, the header. It came in the end. Kuchka, I think, got it off Stones. It will be a free kick. I think Gerhi was just... I mean... Is he blocking the... I mean, is he fouling the keeper there? Kind of, but... I mean, it's a crowded area. The keeper doesn't have the right of way, in a sense. Free kick was given anyway. Didn't matter. It was going to end up with being a goal kick in any case, so either way it didn't matter. Dubravka goes long. Rice won the first header, but there was a flag up anyway against David Strelic. So, free kick to England. Less than 10 minutes to go with the first half. England trail against Slovakia. Ivan Schrantz's goal, the difference at the moment, as it has been in a lot of games for Slovakia so far. Ivan Schrantz, who's been one of the most threatening of forwards for his country. Didn't score in the final group game, but scored in both of his first two appearances at the tournament for Slovakia. An only goal against Belgium, and then Slovakia's only goal against Ukraine as well. Both of those opening the scoring. Different results in the end for Slovakia. He joins Jamal Musiala and Mikatadze as the top scorers, all on 3 goals. 4 players on 2 goals as well, and about 50 or so on 1. A couple of them England players, Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham. The 2 England players on 1 goal apiece. England, who have only scored 2 goals at the tournament so far. That 0-0 draw on match day 3 of the group. Bellingham scored against Serbia, and Harry Kane scoring against Denmark. A real battle in midfield there as Mainu wins the ball. Bellingham with a nice touch to take it round the man and out on the right wing, as he couldn't keep the ball there. Just escaped him, but will be an England free kick as Duda was holding Jude Bellingham there. Bellingham just lost the way of the ball, and Duda just holding him off there. It was definitely a foul. Duda felt a bit hard done by, but he was holding Bellingham, so it is a foul. Chance for England to get the ball into the box. Can they respond before half-time? About 7 minutes plus the additional time to go. And Phil Foden is over this free kick. Left-footed delivery. Was whipping towards the goal, but cleared away by Slovakia. Back out to Walker. Trippier to deliver deep. Up for the header was Rice, and Dubravka had to get a hand to it to punch it away. Again, well cleared by Slovakia again, as Walker will pick it up, but there's going to be a stoppage here for the moment, as Vavro is down on the floor. And just going to bring the medical staff on for the moment to check on Dennis Vavro. A bit of a collision there with Jude Bellingham. Oh, he was kind of, his head was sandwiched in between Bellingham and Dubravka. Oh, it's not a pretty one. Not a pretty one at all there. Of course, Dennis Vavro will get the treatment he needs. It's the right time to tell you that we have another game in the round of 16 coming up a bit later on, as Spain, one of the most impressive sides of the tournament so far, the only side to win all 3 of their group games, and they take on Georgia, who secured qualification to the knockouts in there after their 2-0 win in the 3rd group game against Portugal. What a wonderful story that is for Georgia. They take on each other tonight at 8. The winner of that one will play the host Germany in the quarter-finals. Just seeing Ivan Schrantz's goal. While we do have this stoppage, really cool finish by Schrantz. It was the build-up play, the approach play from Slovakia, that long hopeful ball, winning the first header, bringing it down with Strelic, and the composure in the final third to just wait for a runner that he knew was coming, David Strelic, and not to flash it or take a shot unnecessarily. The composure from Slovakia in the final third was what got them that goal. And the finish from Schrantz is equally as good. Vavro is back to his feet after receiving treatment. He is on the sidelines for the moment. Should be okay to continue. Just under 5 minutes of the first half to go. Slovakia at the moment playing with 10. Until Vavro comes on, he has just been brought back onto the field. So Slovakia, no time to really organise themselves at the moment. He's playing left wing back at the moment, Vavro, but England not pushing forward just yet. Having the possession on the ball though. Trippier. Foden, back to Trippier. They'll just find the time to organise themselves now. Slovakia at the back. Get back into the right shape. So here comes Foden. Driving in field, Phil Foden, but again no space to find. Mainu to Walker. Foden again under pressure in the middle, but holds on to the ball after he receives it from Walker and tries to feed it in behind. And nice idea from Foden. Just a bit ahead of Trippier, but Kieran Trippier went a bit unnoticed there. To be okay, I think he would have been just onside, but the ball just a bit ahead of him from Phil Foden. Nice idea, just not the most accurate of executions for the Manchester City winger there. Dubravka would take the goal kick. Good work there on the right hand side from Strelic to win the throw in, despite England complaints. See it again. I mean, that's definitely an England throw there. The referee did change the decision upon review, shall we say. England did get the throw, and correctly so. Pickford. England have known it's not going to be plain sailing in the knockouts. It's not going to be easy, no matter who you come up against. Whether it be one of the best teams in Europe or one of the teams regarded as one of the not so big teams in the tournament. No one's going to be easy opponents. It's always going to be tight and tasty in the round of 16. So far, it's been quite comfortable for our two previous teams that got through, in Switzerland and Germany, ultimately winning by 2-0. Switzerland a lot easier than it against Italy. They were comfortable in that game. Italy showed absolutely nothing, but Denmark maybe just a bit unlucky. They actually went ahead in that game, Denmark, for a slight moment before their goal was disallowed, and Germany ended up scoring a penalty and consolidating that with a second goal not long after. But Denmark were certainly in that game against Germany for a long time, ultimately losing to the hosts. But this one, the first one to keep it really tight so far. Last minute of the first half. England 0, Slovakia 1. Ivan Schrantz, the scorer, gives the men in blue the lead at the moment. As Saka wins the free kick on the halfway line. Across the stones. Walker. Again, a bit slow from England. He tries to pop it over the top. Well dealt with by Pekarik. Flicked forward by Kuchka, but Couldn't be picked up by anybody other than an England shirt there, and Mark Gurhey will take it down. There's still positives for England to take out of this first half, despite at the moment trailing and not delivering completely. But the final third has just slightly let them down, their accuracy. They certainly have created decent opportunities, half decent attempts. 3 added minutes at the end of the first half then. And England will get a free kick here. Another yellow card's coming out. Milan Skriniar is going to get the booking. The Slovakian captain. A total of 5 yellow cards in the first half. So, certainly a feisty, physical affair. Kyle Walker to John Stones. Now to Bellingham. Saka chops back infield and caught there by David Hansko. Will be an England free kick once again. Just a stray right leg there from Hansko. Catching Bukayo Saka. And that challenge earlier on from Milan Skriniar that got him the yellow card. Definitely a very late lunge on Jude Bellingham there. Got nowhere near the ball. It was a yellow. What can we see from this England free kick then? Foden got a decent cross the last time he had a free kick in this position. Can England respond with an equaliser just before half-time? Phil Foden to deliver this free kick. Bit of a two-man wall there from Slovakian Harislin and Duda. If Foden was going to try and go for the sneaky one. He will to whip it in. And very good from Dubravka. Good goalkeeping to clear his lines as Skriniar hooks it away as England got it back in there. Trippier again. Last minute of the half then completely. Mainu. Nice work in between. And tried to squeeze out a shot. Did so in the end. Mainu took a deflection. Will be a corner. Really good work. Weaved his way through and took the shot at inside the D. Took a slight deflection which gets England a corner. Ending the half positively. Our England. Can they make it count? Corner whipped in. Kane was there. Just over his head. Mainu will recycle once more. Saka now. Saka, the hit from distance. Smashed away by Duda. Although Mainu will recycle. Lifts it in. Gurhey was in there, but still alive for England. 3 minutes are up. One last chance maybe in the first half. Rice to deliver. Gets another corner. The referee will allow them to take it. Where's this urgency been for the whole of the first half? Phil Foden to take the corner. Lots of bodies in there. Foden to deliver. Kane broke free. And the shot was always going off target, but there was a foul in there anyway against England. Andre Duda going down. See it again. Yeah, it goes down under a challenge, I think, from John Stones. Just kind of shoved out of the way was Duda by Stones. And there's the half-time whistle. Almost a minute over the 3. And England had ample opportunity before the half-time whistle there in added time to try and find an equaliser with a lot of successive set pieces, but none of them successful in finding the net. And at half-time in Gelsenkirchen, for the first time in the tournament, England have to come from behind. Half-time, it's England 0, Slovakia 1. Analysis on the way next. Welcome back to Euro 2024 live halftime in Gelsenkirchen in the ArenaAufSchalke, and it is England 0, Slovakia 1 at the break. A first half where England were showing some good glimpses, but the same applies. Nothing to show for it from that first half, and ultimately a lot to show for Slovakia in the end. That first half, we could really sum it up as a bit of England really good approach play, teasing the attacking play, but not efficient enough, accurate enough in taking their chances, and not creating enough good chances, really. Ultimately, good goal-scoring chances in that first half. Just a bit blunt at the top end of the field. They'll say at the same point, and I'm not comparing England's performance to Italy's performance, but in the same sense, in a different way, they look as blunt as Italy. They're just not got that bright spark in the final third at the moment, that clinical finisher. I mean, they've got lots of great players, but at the moment, it's just not clicking in that final third for England at this moment in time. And that first half as a whole, for the majority of it, up until Slovakia scored, we're kind of talking about the positives of that first half, because there were a number of them for England in that first 45. They were playing a lot quicker. They were playing in between the lines a lot better. They looked more balanced in their attacks, with the likes of Foden getting more involved and creating more opportunities. Bellingham looked more comfortable in spinning on the ball and driving into space and carrying the ball forward for England. And multiple times there were a lot of those positives from the wide areas, from the centre areas. They were showing a lot more intent to go forward, a lot more promise on the ball, and certainly not as lethargic and slow and laboured as they had been in previous games. But again, as I said, blunt in the final third. When they get in and around the box, that clinical finish, that edge isn't there at the moment. That cutting edge to finish, to take a chance to find the net, is just not there at the moment. And whether that needs to be a change in personnel or a slight tactical tweak, that is something that Gareth Southgate has to look at half-time and has to try and improve, because if England are going to want to progress, they do need to find the net at least once in the second half and not concede again, because at the moment they do find themselves behind, which is quite an interesting one ultimately. It wasn't the first half where you thought Slovakia were the better side, or they deserved a lead, or that they were dominating England. It was actually, in a moment, quite the opposite in terms of possession, but very even in terms of their attack and output, both sides, I'd have to say. Slovakia, obviously a lot more efficient, a lot more accurate, a lot more comfortable and composed in the final third is the key word, because ultimately it was just a long, hopeful ball. I mean, the goal comes from a long ball by Vavro. They lose the first ball, England. Well taken down by Kuchka. Kuchka won the header, but well taken down by Strelic. Spun on the ball, and I said when I was running through it in that first half, he didn't panic. He didn't flash a shot or try and kind of swing across it. He didn't try and rush the moment. He was composed, he was calm, and he knew there was a run coming, and he just waited for that option to open up and just fed it through lovely to Ivan Schrantz. Really good pace. England not doing well enough in covering their man. And ultimately, Ivan Schrantz, calm, composed, slotted it past Jordan Pickford into the far corner. But ultimately, you'd have to say that a really good moment from Slovakia has them ahead. It's not consistent. It's not kind of constant in that sense. It's not constant pressure on England's defence. But in moments, in the early part of the game, both sides were going kind of toe-to-toe in the attack. The first 12-15 minutes of the game was end-to-end. It was very open. It was very kind of free-flowing in both halves. And both sides were creating decent chances. But when the game settled down, England controlled more of the possession, and that kind of went a bit flat in moments for England in the final third. But ultimately, I do have to say that tactically I think England have been better. But it doesn't matter now. It's not about tactics and all that. It's about winning the game. It's about getting through. The knockout football, you have to win. There's no other excuse to that. And losing at half time, something needs to change. Because if it doesn't, England, I'm not saying they're out, but they're sleepwalking into a big upset here at this moment in time in Gelsenkirchen. And if there's not proactive kind of changes at half time, I struggle to see how Slovakia will be bothered by anything that England will do in the second half, because I said it, they defended really well against Belgium, and they played that game to a T against a side who dominates possession, who holds territory. A Belgium side who really struggled, again, very blunt in the game against Slovakia, not doing enough in the final third. The similar vibe here in this one. Now, you have to credit Slovakia in their defending and how well they've closed space down and not allowed England time and space to roam in the final third, but it's not stopped England from having decent chances. Again, it's just that blunt edgeness where they've had not find that finish in the final third, England, that has let them down. But that's something that needs to change, because as I said, they need to find the net in the second half. Otherwise, they're going on a quick flight home, because they will be leaving the competition as it stands because of not finishing. And maybe you might need to see a change in the wide areas, the likes of a Palmer or a Gordon come on, offer that bit of extra pace and extra ability. I think Phil Foden has shown some moments in that first half, but not enough to kind of convince you that he should stay on the pitch, that he's going to create a goal, he's going to create a goal-scoring chance. I don't think that's possible. I don't think we've seen enough of that in the first half, so I think that might need to be where something that Gareth Southgate needs to change to bring something different to try and test Pekarik. We're talking about a 37-year-old right back here. No disrespect to Peter Pekarik, but you bring a pacey, kind of physical winger on, it's going to make it more difficult for him. Phil Foden's not run at him at all, really, in that first half. The majority of runners against him have either been Jude Bellingham or Kieran Trippier on the overlap. Foden's always wanting to come inside and trying to find the space there. It's not really working at the moment. Again, Bellingham's been better. So I think also for Gareth at half time as well, he has to analyse yellow cards. 5 yellow cards in that first half, 3 for England, 2 for Slovakia. So that will be one thing for the coaches as well at half time to analyse, whether if they are going to make changes, they need to try kind of tell their players on a yellow card, watch yourself, because the last thing we want is to go down to 10, and that could be a worry. But Bellingham, Mainu and Guehi, the 3 on a yellow card for England. I don't think Mainu's done that bad. I think maybe his yellow card may be a bit harsh. I think he's been very bright in the midfield. He's been offering really good options, playing nice balls forward. Positive performance so far, but it's further ahead of him that the problem is at the moment for England. For Slovakia, they've played it very well. I don't think they really need to panic at half time. I think they've got the goal, they're leading, they're in control of the tie at the moment. England have probably had more control of the ball, but it's not always having more of the possession that shows your dominance or your control of the match. Slovakia have controlled the tempo in a way. They've sat a bit deeper. They've tried to stay compact against England and force England to have more of the ball and have more possession. Kind of said, oh, we'll just sit off, allow you to have that, but when you're coming at us, we will press you, we will push you, and we will close the spaces down and not allow you the time and space on the ball in our final third. And that's been promising for Slovakia, but something they'll need to keep to the highest of concentration in that second half, especially with one of their defenders on a yellow card. So something they might have to have a look at half time. But ultimately, I wouldn't say it's anything really negative for Slovakia in that first half. They've been very good. Their finish came from a good moment. Other than that, they've not massively tested England, other than probably in the first 10-15 minutes where they had one or two decent opportunities in front of goal when the game was more open. But since England dominated, they really hadn't threatened Slovakia very much. But they got their chance, they took their chance, and they lead, and that's the difference at half time. Let's just run you through the stats before we go to a break, before the second half gets underway. At the moment, England have dominated possession, as I said, 77% of the ball to Slovakia's 23%. In terms of shots, England have had 6 shots, Slovakia 4. Only 1 shot on target between the both teams. England without a shot on target, and Slovakia's only shot on target, their goal from Ivan Schranz. in that first half. Slovakia scored one big chance. They actually created, ultimately, in that first half, one big chance. England haven't created a big chance in the game. And in terms of XG, Slovakia's is higher, 0.95 for Slovakia, 0.25 for England. So back to my point, they're not creating high enough good chances of scoring, kind of threatening enough scoring chances. And in the final third do look a bit blunt, England. Something they'll need to change at half-time if they're going to have a change in result here. At half-time, it is still England 0, Slovakia 1. The second half from Gelsenkirchen is on the way next. Do stay with us. Welcome back to Euro 2024 live. Half-time in Gelsenkirchen is England 0, Slovakia 1. Also to come a bit later on this evening, we have Spain against Georgia for you. The highly impressive Spain, who won all three of their group games, take on Georgia, who at the moment are the story of the tournament. Spain and Georgia. And the winner of that one will take on Germany. That's tonight at 8. Which is about just under 2 hours away in that one. Looking forward to that one. But this one, at the moment, between England and Slovakia, work for England to do if they're to progress. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and put on post notifications if you haven't done so already. And do follow us on socials on X, Instagram, or TikTok. All the links and handles you need are in the live video description. As I was saying, England work to do in this second half. Trailing at the moment to Slovakia. Ivan Schranz the scorer in that first half. And they need to find the finish. England, they need to find their goal-scoring boots if they're going to progress to the last 8. Ready to get back on the way in a moment or two. Referee just awaiting the signal from the sidelines that we've seen so often from the UEFA officials. Menu is ready to take the kickoff for the second half. And we're underway and going for the second 45. No changes at half-time from Gareth Southgate. So whether or not he's tried to change something tactically at half-time to switch up the game and switch up the idea, give them something different to focus on in the second half, we will see. But at the moment, without personnel changes, you wonder, can England find another advantage? Can they find that extra edge that will get them not only back on level terms, but possibly pushing to win the game? We will see. Trippier back to Pickford. Fired forward by Pickford into an area as England again lose the ball in the centre. Kuchka down the line to Schranz. Kuchka again. Lays it off to Ivan Schranz. Strelic trying to flick it on for the run of Kuchka there, but Foden had that one covered. against Schrantz in the end, and goal kick England. But questions will be asked as to why Gareth Southgate didn't make any changes at half-time. I mean, I've no idea, but clearly he must feel that his players showed enough in that first half to give them confidence. Of course, Slovakia didn't make any changes at half-time either, with them leading. There's no need to, but England were the ones that needed to be proactive. I spoke about it at half-time, about making those being proactive in your action. If you're reacting, you're too late. In knockout football, reacting to what's happening means you'll be too late, and the longer that Gareth Southgate does leave it for changes to come, the less time they will have to have an impact. And we've already seen that changes have come on in 65, 70 minutes and haven't made a major impact for England in any of their previous games. So if Gareth Southgate is to make changes, history will prove in the last few games that he'd have to make them before the 60-minute mark if they're going to try and make an impact. But it could be just a play of kind of belief in your team, that if you do make changes, maybe you affect the belief, the confidence, the ability, the team don't feel that they can go on and change it. Who knows if that's playing into it? But if you're playing that type of mental game, if your players are that mentally weak, they shouldn't be going any further than the round of 16 in this competition. Changes need to be made at times in games if you're losing. No one is silly in saying that that's not the case, but sometimes a bit of extra belief in your players can give them that extra edge. We will see. Mark Gauhy winning the free kick there for England. I don't want to over-talk about England in the second half. I don't want to over-analyse them. Ultimately, we do have to give a lot of respect to Slovakia. Yes, England haven't been on par, but Slovakia took their chance when it came, and they defended so well so far in that first half, so resolutely, so strong, so stubbornly, that you can't really argue with the scoreline at this moment in time. Rice has to go back to Pickford. Pickford trying to get his team up the pitch, but Stones has no major options ahead of him. Only Walker. Has to go back to Stones again, does Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker comes wide with the ball. Down the line to Saka. Nice work as Kane steps off. And now Kane switches it out to the left. Here's Kieran Trippier. Foden knocks it in. England are level. Within a couple of minutes of the second half. Their first real promising attack of the second half. Phil Foden is there to knock it in to an empty net. And they have the lead. Very similar to the goal that was ruled out against Slovenia that England thought they'd scored. This one looks to be no problems of offside. And England are back on level terms. See it again. Really good play down the right-hand side. They drag all the Slovakian bodies over to that side. It leaves the space on the left for Kieran Trippier to overlap. Break forward. And picked forward. Have to wait and see. Because there might be an issue of offside here. The decision is no goal. Quickly checked and quickly ruled out by VAR. Almost identical, if not identical, to the goal that they thought they'd scored against Slovenia, England, in the group. Foden ahead of the ball there. He was behind the defenders, but he was ahead of the ball when Trippier crossed it. So a false alarm for England again. But a promising moment that they can find their way through. Really good combination football, but ultimately they flag up. Rightfully so, the decision to be ruled out. But here they come again. Kane. In between the lines, Harry Kane. The deflection. Oh, carried it behind for the corner. For a moment there, I thought the deflection was going to carry it in. Stepped in, failed on Skriniar, did Harry Kane. The strike just come off Favreau's right foot, and it just carried it behind for the corner. Better play from England. Much more promising. Trippier to bring this, take this corner. Right-footed, deep. Punched away by Dubravka. And Lobotka to head it clear. It's England all the way back with Walker. Good defending from Slovakia there in that corner. England, after that false alarm of the goal being disallowed, maybe feel a bit buoyed. A bit more confident now in their ability to find the net. Rice. Walker tries to squeeze it through the lines. He will get the deflection, which puts it out for the England throw, but not a convincing pass. Menu. Rice. Breaking through. Threads it through the lines, does Rice, but well closed out by Andre Duda. Again out for the throw-in. Right at the moment for Slovakia, it's all about riding through this tough moment. Trying to defend England strongly, resolutely and stubbornly as they did in the first half. Harry Kane, nice ball in behind. Saka with a cut back. Favreau to clear. It's come straight back at them. Menu. Rice. Back to Stones. But as I was saying, it's all about Slovakia staying compact, staying controlled and staying confident in those moments. Keep doing what they were doing in the first half. So that was good covering out there by Duda. He goes down the line, but again a wasted pass. The possession given away is now Francesco Calzona, the Slovakian head coach. He's the one shouting instructions at his players, telling them to get up the pitch, sitting too deep. Trippier. Across to Menu. Bellingham. Out wide it goes to Walker, who was caught there by Harry Schlin. Yeah, it's a late challenge by Harry Schlin. Oh, that ball's given away! Oh, goodness me. An empty net there. What was that from England? Complete collapse at the back, and Strelic tries to go for the long ranger, and just curling away from goal. England saved their blushes there completely. Pickford was nowhere near to it, and it was a mistake at the back. I mean, that is elementary from England. That is basic. Completely switched off and almost got found out. That's a nervy moment they certainly don't want, England's. Pickford to bomb it forward. Pickerick trying to go for the challenge, but the ball ultimately finds its way through to Dubravka. I mean, if we could get another replay of that free kick to fully explain it, it looked like they just passed it along the back, England, and no one was awake, no one was alert to it. Strelic was the only one in there that was alert and tried to go for the long-range effort. England certainly not gone without their nervy moments in this game. And if they had have went 2-0 up Slovakia, that would have really been a big blow to Gareth Southgate's side. Count themselves lucky they haven't. Here's Saka. Trying to weave his way through. Really good footwork from Saka, but ultimately well closed down. As Hansko tries to clear, but stolen away by Menu. Again, good work by Menu. Feeds it out to Walker. Cuts it back now. Foden to deliver. Cleared away. Hooked away that time. Slovakia, but a last-ditch defending needed. Rice. Kane had to deal with the heavy touch as the ball's given away as Strelic now. Holds it up for Slovakia. Duda has to go back as Pekarik picks it up. Tried to find Duda or Pekarik round the corner was Kuchka there, but blocked away by Trippier. Rice. Kieran Trippier. Stones. Arrows one out to Walker. 11.5 minutes gone in the second half. England certainly pushing, but some nervy moments. Have them wary as the ball delivered in again, and Bellingham got up there, but the ball will find its way through to Dubravka. Not much pace on that one from Jude Bellingham. And Petr Pekarik was involved with that one. I'll have to see this again. I was just seeing the offside decision a bit earlier on. He was quite clearly offside there, Phil Foden. All is ready to continue. Pekarik is okay after that collision with Jude Bellingham. Nothing more needed than just a drop ball. Stones on the spin under the pressure from Duda. Finds Mainu. It's a good play from England to get out of that press. VFL Bochum fan in the chat says, where can I see this? I don't know. Depends what country you're in. And even then I probably wouldn't have an idea. So what TV channel you would be able to watch the full match on, I have no idea. Sorry about that. Rice. Mainu back to Rice. Stones. Now Declan Rice trying to carve his way through. Here's Bellingham jinking his way through. Overstepping a few. Squares it across to Rice again. Mainu out to Trippier on the left. Trippier with a delivery whipping in. Skriniar got there. They had it clear as England had a player down. Rice trying to keep the pressure on. Mainu again out wide to Trippier. Steps onto his right. Back infield it goes. Mainu. Now Rice. Mainu. Kobbie Mainu trying to go himself. Took down, but will be a free kick. Clip there just outside the box. Kobbie Mainu by Juraj Kuchka. Has to watch himself. He's on a yellow. Kuchka. It's not a cynical foul. It's a foul. Don't think it's a yellow card worthy, but made a genuine attempt for the ball, so it's nothing more than a free kick there. So chance here for England from the set piece. This could be a really good moment. Certainly got players to take it. The referee just making sure everything's okay in the box. The wall for Slovakia is set up. 10 yards away. Trippier and Foden over this one for England. Bit to the left. Like 2 or 3 yards out from the 18-yard line. To the edge of the box. About 21 yards. There's an angle on it, which makes it more difficult. Chance here. Foden to go for goal. Hits the wall. Good block by the Slovakian wall. 30 to go. England 0, Slovakia 1. And England, time is of the essence. And that free kick comes off the shoulder there of Duda. And Slovakia are going to make a double change. Suslov and Bošnik are going to come on for Slovakia. Lukáš Harašlin is going to make way. And David Strelic is going to be the other. So 2 attacking changes for Slovakia. 2 of their front 3 coming off. And a reminder then of who's coming on. It is Tomáš Suslov and Robert Bošnik are coming on. Certainly not worrying about his defence at the moment. Francesco Calzona. Confident that his side can try and find an edge up front. Positive play. Ultimately trying to give fresh legs up front to try and go more attacking, maybe. Who knows? Kuchka just getting a drink. One on the yellow card alongside Milan Skriniar. Fine balance to try and thread for Slovakia, as England have a few players warming up. Not much evidence that any of them are going to be coming onto the field to play very shortly, but did say that on previous evidence, 60 minutes or before is probably where Gareth Southgate needs to make changes for them to have an impact on the evidence that we've seen in the group games. We've just surpassed that mark now. 61 minutes gone. Just coming up to 62, and England still trail. Here's Bellingham though, trying to feed it in behind for the run of Foden, but Dubravka had that one well marshalled. Although heavy touch at the back from Pekarik. Collided with Walker, I think it was there. One of the England players anyway. Rice to feed it into the box, and that one will go all the way through to Dubravka again. Still an England player on the floor. Trying to see who it is. Is it Kieran Trippier? It is Kieran Trippier. See it again. Ooh. Yeah, Pekarik does kind of catch him there. Catches him in the knee. And that has Kieran Trippier on the floor. There's been some worries previously about Kieran Trippier and some issues with him. About whether, if he does go down and get injured, who will they play at left back, England? Of course, there have been options available. One of the options apparently that was doing the rounds in the English media, Ezri Konsa, the Aston Villa defender, who hasn't played left back before, though that was one of the options. Joe Gomez as well, one of the defenders on the bench. Liverpool defender, has played left back for Liverpool last season, so has experience in that position if that needs to happen. But we will see how Kieran Trippier is if that was to be a change that England were looking at making. Although he's back to his feet, whether he's okay to continue, we will find out. But Cole Palmer is certainly ready on the sidelines. I can see that much. So England planning a change or two. And Kieran Trippier just walking to the sidelines, not comfortably, looks in a difficult way. England fans trying to stay positive. Kane to throw back to Dubravka. Slovakia trying to switch the balls. We're back on the way, but England intercept. I'm trying to figure out what the idea is going to be here if England do make this change. Here's Boschnik to run at the English defence. Pekarik. Schrantz back to Petr Pekarik. Ivan Schrantz. Good play from Slovakia. Lobotka. Now out to Duda. Left foot across into the box it comes. Boschnik with a touch. There's a cut it back. And there's a challenge in there. Late from Kuchka, but it's not a foul, but well, it is a foul. The referee's given a free kick, but he's come flying through there, Juraj Kuchka there. That's very strong. Really has to watch himself. If I was the Slovakian head coach, I'd get him off as quick as possible. He's making some dangerous challenges here. Cole Palmer's coming on, as I told you, and Kieran Trippier's coming off. So are England going to a back three then? I'm guessing. And Bukayo Saka has gone to left back. I'd love to see how this works. I mean, if it works, it works, but I'm interested, I'm intrigued. Bukayo Saka's gone to left back, Palmer off the right, Foden a bit further infield with Bellingham alongside. Rice and Mainu, so kind of a... I have no idea what type of formation this is. From what I could see, it looks still to be a 4-2-3-1, but in a sense it's... Saka's gone to left back. Interesting. We'll see how it works. 24 minutes plus additional time to go. England 0, Slovakia 1. At the moment, Slovakia will be facing Switzerland in the quarterfinals, but still time for that to change. Switzerland are the opponents of the winner of this game. Remember, we're still, if it does end level after 90 minutes, extra time and penalties will be required, if necessary, to decide a winner. Still a long time to go, though. Menu couldn't find the ball through. Has to go back to Pickford. Bellingham. Menu. To Rice. There's a player down on the far side for Slovakia, but the referee's played on, as he's not obliged to stop the game unless it's a head injury. There's no need to stop the game. Here's Cole Palmer. Palmer to deliver. And Foden was running in, and Vavro had to head it behind for the corner. Slovakian players not happy that their player was down and the referee didn't stop, but he's under no obligation to stop the game, according to the rules, unless it is a head injury. Andre Duda, the player that went down, he stripped back to his feet, so there's nothing in that. I mean, that's just unnecessary. Corner for England then, right hand side. Foden over to take it. Delivered into the 6-yard box. Duda up to head it clear. Not fully cleared. Duda again intercepts and knocks long. But no one there in the vicinity. Slovakia to hold it up as England have it back again. Palmer. Down the line to Foden. Phil Foden. Back across to Rice. Surrounded by a few. Rice does work his way out of that bit of bother as Foden delivers. Just overhit that one. Phil Foden, goal kick to Slovakia. I have to say, we've not seen much of Harry Kane tonight at all. He has stayed up top. I was getting frustrated previously at Harry Kane and how, I mean, not as an England fan, I'm not an England fan, but as a neutral, you could see that he's a striker to stay up there, to pin the defence back. He's done that a lot better this evening, giving his side a lot more space, a lot more kind of ability to drive forward, but at the same time, he's had lack of service into those areas, which has been a problem, which is why we haven't seen very much of Harry Kane tonight, ultimately. But also the strong defending from Slovakia, kind of isolating him in those areas. On the same token, Guehi to pop it forward, find Kane in a pocket of space. That's better. Here's Harry Kane now out to the right hand side is Palmer. Bodies flooding into the box. Palmer squares it across. Bellingham goes down, but he was already on the way to the floor. In the box, referee says no penalty as we play on. Palmer. Inside the box now, battling with Suslov, but gets past Suslov, does Palmer. Walker, back to Menu, lots of bodies up for England as Menu fizzes into the box, but that one far too close to Martin Dubravka, who will gather. You'll see this again, Bellingham takes the touch. And that's not a foul, it's not a penalty, he just kind of loses his balance there, Jude Bellingham. He's already going to grind, and he didn't think he actually claimed for it, Bellingham, either there. Good hold-up play by Boschnik. Duda. Out to the left-hand side of Hansko. Duda. Lobotka. Back to Andre Duda. Again under a bit of pressures. They come all the way back. Slovakia to their keeper. Oh, that could have been a nervy a moment there. Dubravka did well with it though. Although the long ball recovered by England. think Slovakia need to try and pose a bit of a threat to England up the other end a bit more. Have been a bit blunt in the second half. They haven't offered much. They've had one shot in the second half compared to their 4 in the first. Rice switches out to Palmer. Cross to Mainu. Less than 20 minutes to go in Gelsenkirchen. England 0, Slovakia 1. Ivan Schranz leading his side to victory at this moment in time. Will it hold? Or will England find a breakthrough? Rice. Mainu. Rice again. Bellingham. Now to Saka. Not seen much of Saka off the left since he changed out to there. Here's Bellingham though to spin on the ball and get forward. Bellingham arriving into the box on the left hand side. Delivers into the box. Away by Skriniar. Got the header on that one. Again as Slovakia clear. England again pick up the ball. It's one-way traffic at the moment. Slovakia have a lot of defending to do in those 18 minutes that we still have on the clock, plus the added time. At the moment, with this approach, will feel like a lifetime for Slovakia defensively. For the moment, for England, it will fly by. Rice again tried to rush the pass as he was under pressure and lost the ball. Slovakia will just knock the ball out of play because Suslov has gone down on the far side. See this again. It's in a challenge with Palmer. Oh, kind of went over on his ankle there. Suslov. It's not a nice moment. He tried to challenge Palmer and he kind of caught the turf and went over on his ankle. He will receive treatment at the moment then. And a reminder then for you, don't forget, one more game to come for you this afternoon in the round of 16. We'll be halfway through the round of 16 games by the end of this evening, and we'll know 2 of our matchups for the quarter-finals. Spain take on Georgia tonight, 8 o'clock. Spain, one of the most impressive sides of the tournament. Probably a very good shock to the side of how good they have been with that young team. And they play Georgia later on this evening. Georgia, who beat Portugal on match day 3 to qualify for the knockouts. They take on Spain a bit later on. There'll be team news from that game in around less than half an hour's time. Of course, only about 15 minutes left of this one. Suslov is back to his feet. This break and play won't help the momentum, won't help the rhythm of the game for England. I do get those final votes into the chat. We're going to close the poll in a moment or two's time. So if you haven't voted on the poll, do vote now. Who will get to the quarterfinals, England or Slovakia? At the moment, from the votes that we have, there's still a lot of belief that England will turn this around. 67% saying that England will progress. Get those votes in because the poll will close in a matter of moments. Space in there for Slovakia to break. Pekarik, Schranz. Cuts it back to Kučka. Not deathly in a hurry. Slovakia to attack there. The moment looking to just keep the possession. Vavro. Skriniar. Lobotka. Under pressure, Lobotka. Does well to keep the ball. Finds Duda. He has to go back to Skriniar. Skriniar. Lobotka switches it out to space for Petr Pekarik. He's asking for options. Schranz, nice link up there in field. The ball in behind. Just too much for Bosniak to chase and will find the hands of Jordan Pickford. Again, it was decent work from Slovakia. I said their most impressive moments in the tournament so far. I've said it in multiple games that I've watched Slovakia. That combination down the right flank between Pekarik, Kučka and Schranz has been very impressive. And they almost found a breakthrough there with that trio on that moment. Palmer will get the throw here for England on the right. Through to Bellingham, who went down, trying to hold off Duda. Bellingham battling there, but the referee moved. Fair challenging. Suslov tries to clear it up the pitch. Again, England will receive possession of the ball. Foden. And a link up with Saka. And Pekaric there deemed to have fouled Phil Foden. So a free kick will come England's way. And a yellow card will come the way of the Slovakian fullback, Petr Pekaric. And just stood on Phil Foden inadvertently there. Yellow card it is. That is the 6th yellow card of the game, or the first one of the second half. As Foden to deliver. The header is wide from Harry Kane. That's a massive moment. Great delivery by Foden. And Harry Kane got up. Free header in the middle. Beat off Skriniar, who ended up on the floor. And Harry Kane could only head wide. How big a moment is that? That is a huge moment for England. And another chance gone a-begging. And now Slovakia have the goal kick. Well, England weren't boasting coming into the tournament. Their 4 games prior to the tournament, 2 in March and 2 in June, weren't the most kind of endeavouring and enamouring of performances and results. Only 1 win in their 4 games prior to the Euros. And that was against Bosnia when they won 3-0. They lost to Iceland in their final warm-up game at home at Wembley before they entered the tournament. Remember, Iceland beat them at Euro 2016 in the round of 16. One of the biggest shocks, regarded on that night as one of the poorest performances of English football history against Iceland. They lost against Iceland in their last warm-up game, England. Certainly not leaving your home country on the right mark before heading to a tournament. And unbeaten so far in the tournament. England, a win and 2 draws in their 3 group games. Serbia beating Serbia here by a 1-0. And then back-to-back draws against Denmark and Slovenia to finish top of the group. But Group C regarded as the group of death in terms of how boring it was. It wasn't filled with drama or action or goals or excitement. All the sides in that group, none of them scored more than 1 goal in a single game. Every game in Group C ended either with 1 goal or no goals. Slovakia, as I said, a pretty mixed bag in this tournament. They've had a result of all 3 different results: win, lose and draw. Talk about that in a moment. Walker flicks it back to Palmer. 10 minutes to go. Here's Foden. Saka. Bellingham and Kane in the middle. Saka trying to cross it. Blocked by Pekaric. Back out it comes. Rice to step forward and strike. Hits the post. The follow-up is over the bar. That's a massive moment again from England. Really good from Rice to strike. Steps across the man and strikes from a good distance, blasting it off the post. Bounces back into the mix, and Harry Kane could only strike it into the ground and bounced over the bar. Another good moment for England, but another chance gone a-begging. And Declan Rice, as shocked as anyone that didn't find the net. As they're going to make changes again, Slovakia. One of those changes is going to be Laszlo Benes and Matus Berro are the 2 coming on. Decent effort from Declan Rice. Clasping off the post and strike from Kane over the bar. But good moments again for England. In the latter stages, they only need one. And that'll carry us through to extra time and possibly penalties. 2 would do the business and win the game. At the moment, Slovakia won the throw in there. Their endeavour showing the hard work that they're putting into this. The fight, the desire that they're offering this afternoon. Throw in into the middle from England there as it comes all the way back to Jordan Pickford. I'll remind you of those substitutes from Slovakia in a moment. Benej and Berro are the 2 that come on. I've not got the details of who's come off, but I'll get that for you in a moment as England have the throw in. They tried to take it quickly in the moment, giving it away. And now Slovakia look to come up the other end. Berro out to the left. Ball in behind, looking for the run of Berro. But Rice had it covered. Did well to track back. Make sure that England had control of that one. This will be a big disappointment for England if they do go out. That would be an understatement, but if England were to go out at this level of the tournament, they're going to make a change here. Kobbie Mainoo is going to come off, and Abera Eze is going to come on. So Eze, an attacking option. Kobbie Mainoo, who's played well today, and England being behind is by no fault of his. Kobbie Mainoo. And then the change has been made. Abera Eze, so an extra attacker on for England to try and give them that edge in the final third. Not much time to show it. Clock is ticking down. By the way, a reminder of those changes for Slovakia. I said it, Matuš Berro and Laszlo Benej have come on. They replaced Ondrej Duda and Juraj Kučka. So 2 midfielding changes there for Slovakia, just to add that extra bit of fresh legs on the field. That's good work from Eze on the spin. Closed down as Bellingham has it back again. 6 minutes plus the additional time to go. Bellingham battling hard with Shuslov. And he will get the free kick there, Jude Bellingham, off Shuslov as he was dragged to the floor. Trailed down by the neck of his shirt there. A chance for England to deliver a ball into the box. Fans still backing their team, backing their nation. Is it enough? Will it be enough in the end? Phil Foden to step up for this free kick. Decent deliveries previously. This one needs to be on the mark. Foden to deliver. Punched away by Dubravka. Comfortably. Too close to the keeper, that one. As England will receive the ball again. Foden. Another minute ticks away. Time running out. Rice with the ball across. Found Kane. Again, not convincing. Eze trying to battle, but loses out. And now Slovakia can maybe get themselves up the pitch here. Try and find the run of Boschnik, but well marked off by England. As Gerhi recycled to Walker. Now Rice. Foden. Time not on their side, England. Well, that deflection will help them. As Hansko comes across and puts it out for the English throw, which Palmer will take. No time to waste from an English point of view. Palmer to deliver. Away by Milan Skriniar. Božnik was battled and lost the ball to Gerhi. Palmer trying to feed it in behind Hansko to block. And Suslov will lift it out to Hansko on the left hand side. Božnik lays it off Slovakia play the ball out to the right, but there was no one there making the run. Eza to pick it up for England. It's all hands on deck now for England. As they give it away in midfield again. Rice and Foden getting in a muddle. And now Slovakia can try and get the ball up the pitch. Here's Ivan Šranc, the man who, at this moment in time, could be leading Slovakia into the last 8 at the European Championships. Lobotka will strike! Straight at the keeper. In Jordan Pickford. Really struggling at this moment in time to show that invention, that energy, that innovation, England, that they need in these latter moments. Will they be going out with a whimper? Once again, failing on the international stage. Crumbling under the pressure of a nation coming into it where they felt they should be beating. They should be performing. They should be delivering. Is it going to be similar outcomes, or will they change it? Here's Palmer, the ball in. Foden try to cut it back. Lobotka to clear behind for a corner. Still time. 2.5 minutes plus the additional time to go. Anybody's guess as to what will happen here. Another England corner. Their 8th of the game. Foden to deliver. Lots of bodies in and around the box. Foden's cross comes in. Dubravka again was there. Bellingham was on the mix as well as Slovakia try and clear. As Eza just aimed to have fouled Lobotka there. Stanislav Lobotka on the edge of the box. Free kick to Slovakia. Just kind of a slight push on Lobotka. Not much, but if you're going to give him an inch, you'll take a mile. Especially when you're holding on to a lead late in a game. Have to say, Martin Dubravka on a lot of these set pieces has stepped up, commanded his area, and been strong for his team. Slovakia, as I was saying, didn't get the chance to talk about where they've come in the group, where they've come in the tournament so far. I said it was a mixed bag, a win, a draw and a loss in their 3 group games. They opened the tournament with a win against Belgium, 1-0. They took the lead against Ukraine but ended up losing 2-1 before drawing 1-1 against Romania on match day 3 to secure a knockout place. They had a decent run before in the warm-up games leading up to this competition. Winning 2, drawing 1 and losing 1 of their 4 games in March and June. Won both of their warm-up games against San Marino and Wales by 4-0 before entering the tournament. So we're entering this tournament on a high and might be going even higher if they can see this out. With less than a minute of the 90 remaining. Pickford to bomb it forward. It's that type of moment now. The ball cleared away by Slovakia. Now they can try and counter. There's bodies forward. Here's Šranc. We'll have a few more minutes. See how long out of time as Šranc's ball is out of play and Pekarik kept it, couldn't keep it in. 5 minutes added on. 5 minutes between England trying to conjure up a comeback. Sorry, 6 minutes. It's just adjusted there. 6 added minutes. I do apologise. It was just changed last second. 6 added minutes. Is that enough time for England to try and conjure up a comeback? Eza on the spin. Gets past Vavro. Looking to cross it. Blocked in there by Pekarik. Will be a corner. Although Pekarik's stayed down at the moment. Kind of hit his thigh there. It looked like. Will be a corner. Not many moments left for England. This could be crucial. Eza to deliver from the corner. Lifts one in. Deep. Dubravka will punch it away. Šranc trying to see out Foden. Foden will not keep it in. And Slovakia will get the throw in. As the clock ticks down, England's time in the tournament is slipping away from them. They wanted to go one better from the last time out. At the moment, they're taking a couple of steps back. And this would be a massive disappointment for England if they were to leave the competition here this afternoon. Remember, a goal would make the difference. An equaliser would send us to extra time and possibly penalties if that were to come. But at the moment, the way Slovakia have defended, how resolutely, how stubbornly, how strong, how compact, how composed, how kind of physical they've been in every single challenge. They have defended this so well. It's not been an onslaught from England, but it has certainly been difficult, because at this moment in time they're heading out of this tournament in a game where they've not had a shot on target yet, and we're into the 93rd minute. At the moment, the man with the only shot on target of the first half, Ivan Šranc, is going to make way for Slovakia here. He's the man that's made the difference so far. Could have that crucial winner, as Norbert Gjomber has come on. '94, 94th minute of the game. England 0, Slovakia 1. A round of 16 exit is looming for the Three Lions. Slovakia moments away from a magical moment. Can they hold on as England want to make a change? Could that be too little too late to make changes at this stage? 2.5 minutes remain. The clock is not on their side. They only need one moment. As Skriniar there puts it out for the throw in. Wanted to wait till the very last second before he did that, Milan Skriniar. Will England? They are going to make a change. Ivan Toney is coming on and Phil Foden is coming off. Throwing an extra body in the area, bit of extra height, offer something, but is it too little too late? Walker to throw in, long throw into the box, up into the area, still alive by Rice. Lobotka trying to hook it clear, but we'll go out for another England throw. Just over 90 seconds to go. Another chance for Walker here to throw into the box. Another long throw comes in. It's not cleared away. The overhead kick. It's in! Jude Bellingham, the man who's been heavily criticised for not being involved enough, has got possibly one of the biggest goals of the tournament for England. He opened their scoring in the first game, and he's got another that could secure England's chances of hopes of keeping their hopes of lifting this trophy alive. Slovakia have battled so hard for the majority of the game, but in the 95th minute of 96, England are level. A long throw not dealt with first time round, and an overhead kick from Jude Bellingham beats Martin Dubravka and gives England the leveller. The lifeline they needed has come at the very death, and it's come from Jude Bellingham. And that could be huge. And this could be England's saving grace. Extra time could be incoming. The 6 minutes are up. Is there any more time left? We need to move it quick if there is going to be one more chance. Lobotka has it for Slovakia. They've gone back. The referee will allow play to continue for at least another couple of seconds. But that has certainly changed this game. The momentum has flipped on its head. Will England have the advantage heading into possibly extra time now? What a dramatic moment in the Euros as Eza finds it to Saka, flicked forward. Harry Kane now on the ball. It's taken off the ball, wanted the free kick, but Slovakia have it back. They want to try and attack, but time is up. Extra time it will be. Jude Bellingham could be England's hero in Gelsenkirchen. He's got them back on level terms, and that will buy them another 30 minutes in this one. Just when we thought Slovakia were doing the business and getting the job done, Jude Bellingham steps up to score what could be a crucial goal. At the end of the 90 minutes, it's England 1, Slovakia 1. Extra time on the way next. Goodness me, we've had a moment to breathe and to take in what has just happened. A 95th minute equaliser from Jude Bellingham secures England extra time at the very least against Slovakia, just as they thought they were heading home. There was already a player, already someone booking their flights home, but Jude Bellingham had other plans, and England are not dead yet. It's gonna be mentally draining for Slovakia, of course, who thought they'd won it, who thought they had it in their grasp, but you can't lose concentration, especially in the late moments in a game when all is on the line. They came ever so close, but they'll have to go again and try and battle again. England's are buoyed by that. They're the ones on top. They're the ones with the momentum now and the feeling that they can go on and do the full job. Their character has been tested, but it's all about now getting the job done and trying to avoid the dreaded P word, penalties. But we will see. We have 30 minutes for that to possibly happen. Remember, we do have Spain against Georgia coming up for you a bit later on, in about an hour's time. For that one, 8 o'clock kickoff between Spain and Georgia in Cologne. We will have live commentary of that one for you. So when this game comes to a close, we will head straight to that game. But at the moment, we still have a bit of time in between the games, so we have enough time to let you through. You can grab a cup of tea or a drink or some sort of a snack in between, because we will be going for another 30 minutes for definite, and then we'll see whether penalties will be necessary. At the moment, These two will face Switzerland. Whoever wins this will face Switzerland in the quarterfinals after they beat Italy 2-0 yesterday. And Germany, 2-0 winners against Denmark, will be the opponents of the winner of our later game between Spain and Georgia. Back we go to the game in Gelsenkirchen in the ArenaAufSchalke, where England got that late equaliser that could be crucial in securing a possible second chance for the Three Lions. Of course, now, in normal time, in 90 minutes, you have 5 substitutes at 3 different occasions. You have an extra sub now because we've gone to extra time as well. So 6 available substitutes overall for the teams available. England have made 3 substitutes at 3 different periods in the game, but England will have an extra substitute to use. Slovakia have made 3 substitutes at 3 extra different all 5 substitutes at 3 different periods, so they will also have an extra substitute, so 1 apiece for extra time for these two. As we get underway, extra time is often going, and England's had the momentum. Can they complete the comeback, or will Slovakia bounce back? That's the question. That'll be the big question mark about extra time. Can they complete the job, England? Or will Slovakia test them all the way to the death? They have a free kick here on the right flank. Palmer to take. Decent start. Palmer. Left-footed delivery into the box. Again, Dubravka had the punch clear. As the ball back in the box, Harry Kane! It's in! Inside 50-something seconds, England are ahead in Gelsenkirchen. They've completed the job. They've completed the comeback. Inside a minute of extra time, England turned this game on its head. For over 90 minutes or something, they played with defensive football, having to defend Slovakia. But their defence has collapsed in a matter of moments. In the 95th moment of normal time, and in the very first minute of added time, England lead for the very first time in Gelsenkirchen tonight. And it is Harry Kane in extra time that gives England the overall advantage in the tie. That's what momentum can give you. That's how games can change on a flip of a coin, on the drop of a hat. Everything can spin from being all down to all up. And England, who have the lead now, certainly don't want to throw it away now. How do England manage this? When they lead, they're very often known to drop a bit deeper and try and protect. But if they do that, they could be at risk, because we have a long number of extra time to go. 27.5 minutes of extra time is still to come. So it will be about managing this now for England and not allowing Slovakia back in it. So here's Pekarik. What a dreadful last few minutes for Slovakia. In shock. We're a minute or so away from winning. And now, ultimately in game time, about 5 minutes after that, they find themselves 2-1 down. Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane, the scorers. The only two that have found the net for England in the competition so far. As Slovakia try and break forward there. Saka tracking back. And John Stones winning the goal kick for England. Off Suslov, who was pressing. Just seeing that free kick again. Really well delivered by Palmer. Punched away there by Dubravka. The ball fed back in. I said about how England need to sustain the pressure. And they did it again. They sustained the pressure. Won the second ball. Got the ball back into the mix. And Harry Kane made himself available to head into the net. Past Dubravka. I mean, how crazy this has been. Actually, minutes, seconds away from a massive inquest, a massive inquiry into how England were leaving the competition at the round of 16 with the quality they have tonight. A couple of minutes into extra time with them leading and the fans jumping up and down and applauding in appreciation that their side now lead. Referee deemed that a heavy boot, a high boot from Harry Kane on Milan Skriniar. Gareth Southgate there in deep chalks with Steve Holland on the sidelines. What their next approach is, what their next idea is, because they've still got a long spell of extra time to go, and they've got one change they can make. Whether they will make that change, they probably will at some point. Whether that will change the dynamic. At the moment, since England have taken the lead, Slovakia have tried to hold more of the possession. Have held more of the possession. Skriniar. Suslov. Back now. It comes for Slovakia. Lobotka. First time in the tournament that England have scored more than one goal in a game. They'd only scored 2 goals prior to this game in the whole tournament. They scored 2 ultimately in this tie alone. Could that be getting their attacking threat going? Still not over yet though. Hansko. Slovakia try and respond. Suslov. Skriniar. Try and play it in between the lines. Benesh. Out wide to Suslov. They took a deflection. Hansko. Trying to flick it forward, but Declan Rice there to block off the space and clear it away for England. As Ivan Toney holds the ball up and gets England the free kick. Gets them up the pitch. It's really good from Ivan Toney. Up against Norbert Gjomber there. Winning the free kick. Does the England centre forward. What a dramatic moment, a few moments we've had here in Gelsenkirchen. And I wouldn't rule out any more. I wouldn't rule it out changing again. A third for England would certainly secure safety in the game and probably book their place into the quarterfinals, but that's still in the balance with a lot of time remaining. Walker. Saka now down the right. Harry Kane looked to spray it wide, but blocked off by Peter Pekarik. Who at 37 is still playing at the highest level and performing really, really well, Peter Pekarik. He's been fantastic. Gjomber. Vavro. Back it goes to Dubravka. Vavro to knock it forward. Looking for a runner there, but again England close it down. Guehi. Back to Pickford. Remember, Mark Guehi got that yellow card, the very first yellow card of the game, very early on. If England were to progress, Mark Guehi would not be available for the quarter-final tie with Switzerland due to a suspension for getting yellow cards. We're into the 100th minute, into the 10th minute of extra time. 15 each half, of course. Slovakia trying to respond back to going behind. Lobotka in space. Well closed down. Vavro. Gyomber now. Skriniar. Out to Hansko. Looking for the deep delivery. Easily gathered by Jordan Pickford, who tells his side to calm. Strong goalkeeping. Cross a bit too deep though from Hansko, but certainly an intent from Slovakia that they're not giving up yet. So we've surpassed now the 100 minutes. Ball in behind there from England, but easily gathered by Martin Dubravka. Rice. Slovakia give the ball away. Kane. Back it comes to Gerhi. Goes back to Pickford. It's all about England consolidating in this moment. Staying calm, staying composed, staying reassured. Not taking too many unnecessary risks, but also at the same time not dropping too deep to allow Slovakia a bit of territory and a bit of confidence that they can get back into the game. Said how it's about finding that balance. They struggled to find that balance in the game at all, England, until that 95th minute long throw in from Kyle Walker really upset the Slovakian defence and confused them. Ultimately, it was that different idea that changed it ultimately. And the touch of class from Jude Bellingham, getting England back on level terms. Suslov down the left hand side, trying to get something out of Saka, who was blocking there, and did enough to clear it out for the throw-in to Slovakia. Hansko to take the throw-in quickly. Finish. Cross to Skriniar. Finish. Lobotka. Skriniar will go for the long ball forward. Again, well gathered by Jordan Pickford, but I think the offside flag was up in any case against Pekarik, who was in there. Free kick to England anyway. Harry Kane, who's adding to that already impressive tally of goals and knockout appearances. 7 knockout appearances for England, 7 goals now. Very impressive. 48 overall at international. Slovakia haven't given up yet though. Suslov. Nor should they. Ball darted through the middle. There was a push in the back there. The referee said it was a fair challenge. As England pick up the ball, it was Matas Barrow that was put down, but now come England up the other end. Here's Palmer. How to lift it in. Still not away as Slovakia do eventually clear it away. Pekarik. Under pressure from Bellingham. The ball put out by Bellingham. He wanted the throw in. Did Jude Bellingham? Felt that Pekarik had the last touch. Referee just allowing the game to flow a bit more in extra time, allowing the football to do the talking. There's just a clip there as Palmer tried to win the ball. Will be a Slovakian free kick on Suslov. Yeah, Suslov tried to kick the ball. He kicked the back heel of Cole Palmer there. So we're into the last minute of the first half of extra time. Of course, it doesn't mean that it is the last minute overall. Sometimes we do get added time and extra time, which is interesting. As there's a hold up, oh! Boschnik and Pekarik didn't find the finish at the back post. Nice ball into the box, cut back, and Benesh with a cross. Boschnik held it up, Benesh with a cross, and Pekarik at the back post. Closed up by Eze, but all he needed was a tap, and that could have been 2-2. Maybe just put off by Aberi Eze. 1 added minute at the end of the first half of extra time. Still work to be done. Still in the mix for the latter stages here. As the ball comes all the way back to Pickford. Of course, we'll have another 15 minutes of extra time on the way fairly shortly. We don't have much of a break, but in extra time there is about a minute or two break. As Saka comes forward here for England to end the first half of extra time on a high note. Palmer has to go back to Rice. Eze, first time to Tony, but closed down. And that will be the end of the first half of extra time. A first 15 which saw England inside the first minute of extra time take the lead of the game for the first time of the night. And it's still in the balance. It's Harry Kane that has made the difference so far, but at the moment it's still in the balance. England 2, Slovakia 1. Another half of extra time to come. Welcome back. Second half of extra time on the way in a moment or two. England, who literally a minute before the 96th in normal time would have been heading home. We're behind. We're almost down and out. A 95th minute equaliser from Bellingham brought it to extra time, and in the first minute of extra time, Harry Kane headed England ahead. All about carrying that through now and seeing it through. Ezri Konsa's ready to come on the sideline, so that will be England's change. So we'll see how England adapt as we get ready for the second half of extra time. They lead. They've got it in their grasp now. They have 15 minutes to try and hold on to it, England. Can they do so? Gareth Southgate was just giving one or two last pieces of information to his team ahead of the second half of extra time, ready to get underway in a moment. Ezri Konsa and, sorry, not Ezri Konsa now. Oh, England had two substitutes available. So Konsa and Gallagher have come on at half-time. I'm interested as to how that's been able to happen. I thought that that was only one available, but there we are. England made two changes. Harry Kane was one of them that's come off for Gallagher and Konsa. Some fresh legs to try and see them through. Slovakia get the second half of extra time underway, with them now trailing, with them needing the goal to carry us to penalties, if that were to be the case. Time is not on their side, but England, as I said, will have 15 minutes to try and hold on. So England made those changes to try and help them through. Conor Gallagher and Ezri Konsa. Just going back to that actually a 5 kind of in a way. A 5-2-2-1 or a 5-3-2 in a sense. Or a 5-4-1 in moments for England out of possession as Slovakia have the ball, which is crucial at the moment. And the shot, a slight deflection by Stones, and Pickford will gather and will do that signature dive to the floor, holding the ball just to waste an extra few seconds. A reminder for you that straight after this, Spain against Georgia, kickoff 8 o'clock. Do stay with us for that one. That will be on the way very shortly here on LFS. 8 o'clock kickoff. Will be live for that one from around about 10 to 8. So still about 20 odd minutes away, but we've still got another 15 of this game to go. So just to remind you of that. As soon as this game does finish, we will hand you over. We will send you straight over to that stream, so you do stay put here and you will be handed straight over to there when that happens at the end of this one. But we will stay till the finish here. Even if the game was to get underway elsewhere, we would join that in action if that were to happen, because that is sometimes the risks you have to take when knockout football takes place. Suslov. Rice intercepting. Good work from Declan Rice. Now Eza picks up the ball for England. It's all about England not sitting too deep, not standing off, not allowing Slovakia to grow in confidence in the extra time, as Eza gets absolutely cleaned out there. And it's going to be another yellow card. It's Dennis Vavro that's going to get it this time. Yeah, just completely steps into the path of Iberieza there. Can't be doing things like that. And there's a yellow card. Slovakia have made that a change then. Petr Pekarik has come on and Pekarik is off and Tupta is on in his replacement. Lubomir Tupta is on, so another change for Slovakia in extra time. As England's free kick comes to nothing. Benish, Beto, now Lobotka, lifting it forward, trying to find Boschnik there, and then the foul there on the substitute. Tupta gets Slovakia the free kick. It's a late lunge there by Gallagher. Just over 10 minutes of extra time to go. England 2, Slovakia 1. Slovakia have a free kick in a decent area. It's a distance out, but it's fairly central. Tupta is the one that's eyeing it up at the moment, the one that won the player that won the free kick. Just be ready to take it. Oh, Benish is there with him. Tupta and Benish over this one for Slovakia. big moment in the game. Tupta will take Tupta over the bar. Jordan Pickford wasn't going to be tested by that effort. Wasn't the cleanest of strikes, but was always seeing itself over the bar, that one. Nail-biting moments for England. The ball from Pickford is cleared out of play. It will be a Slovakian throw. So as the clock ticks down, Slovakia continue to push. Vavro with a lazy pass. Certainly a very fatigued type pass, as Tony is deemed to have fouled the Slovakian midfielder. So another Slovakia free kick. But that pass by Vavro was certainly showing his fatigue, showing his kind of lack of energy at this late stage. As Benesh will take it, lift it out, trying to find Vavro on the right, but blocked by Eza. Cleared out for a Slovakian throw. Vavro will not be taking this. Will be Matthias Barrow that will take this throw in. England's equaliser in normal time came from a long throw in. Slovakia are not going to go for the long throw. Going to go for the cross as Barrow tries to go for it. Will be another throw. Will go for the long one now. Into the box it comes. Not cleared away by England. Rice can scoop it away. Back to Barrow. Delivers into the box. Not half cleared by Kyle Walker. Benesh will pick up. Back to Suslov now on the right hand side. Lots of bodies in and around the box. Suslov's delivery is just overhit. And it will be seen out by Kyle Walker. And behind for an England goal kick. One or two decent moments there from Slovakia. That was really smart from Kyle Walker. Just gets out of the way of it just in time. England continue to lead. Clock is now being closely watched by those Slovakian supporters rather than the England ones now, as to how long their side will have to try and conjure up an equalising goal. 7 minutes is the answer, plus any additional time at the end of the second half of extra time. Concert. It's all the way back. Walker. Back it goes. It's cleared away by Stones. And a crunching challenge in there by Gyomber. On Ivan Toney will give England the free kick. And he gets a yellow card for his troubles as well, Gyomber. That means all of their defenders, other than David Hansko, have been booked. Certainly very physical, those Slovakian defenders. As Kyle Walker is standing with this free kick, less than 6 minutes to go. Long ball forward out to the left flank. Tony and Concert in the area. Rice wins the header, brought down by Eza. Eza trying to weave his way through, but closed down again. Gyomber under pressure from Eza. Does well to hold it off to Barrow. And Suslov gives it back into midfield. Lobotka now to dart it forward. Taken down. There in the final third by Chupta. Back to Lobotka. Cross to Vavro. Down the right hand side comes Barrow. Then going up with Benesh. And Vavro to get the corner for Slovakia. As England try and organise themselves. Less than 5 minutes. Clock is still ticking down. Benesh, who was ready to take the corner, just been stopped at the last second there by the referee to make sure all is okay inside the box. Referee allowing him now to take it. Benesh to deliver. Benesh with the delivery. Away by Ivan Toney. And Eza to clear. This comes all the way back to Dubravka. Slovakia will try and come again. Lobotka. Kept alive there by Barrow. Almost intercepted. Vavro now. Lobotka. Dennis Vavro. 3.5 minutes remain. Plus any added time. Sushlov to try and cross. And well anticipated by Ezri Konzu. Stepped out. Got the block. Put it out for the Slovakian throw. So there was 2 balls on the pitch. And referee allows play to go on. Lobotka in behind the cross. Turned into shot there from Boschnik, but was always hitting the side netting from that narrow angle. Yeah, Boschnik just never beating Southgate from that narrow angle. Clock continues to tick down. Time running out for Slovakia now. And by minute, those England fans celebrating ever more. Is there enough time? Is there another chance for Slovakia to try and give us a penalty shootout to watch? Or will England just get the job done? Certainly not in the most conventional of ways, but as long as you get the job done and knockout football, that's all that matters. Lobotka. England sitting deep. Slovakia pushing high. Have to be wary. They're not too deep, England. Skriniar. Gallagher trying to keep the pressure on the ball. Not allow Slovakia time to conjure up and measure those passes. The ball comes out to the right hand side to Barrow now. In behind it goes. Sushlov now. Back as the cross comes in. Header is in there. Well, the header is off target. And Walker again making himself a nuisance for the attacker. It was David Hanchko that was in there. And Walker does just enough to put him off. And that is holding on for England again. Less than a minute of the 120 remain. And this could be major for England. In their confidence, in their belief, in their character and mentality. Trailing for the majority of the game. Failing to have a shot on target before your goal. Into the 90 odd minutes before they had their first shot on target with Jude Bellingham. They lacked clinical edge, they lacked bluntness, but when it mattered most, they've got 2 goals that could see them through. Although Sushlov delivers into the box for Slovakia. Still not away, still in the England box at the moment. They have to get it clear. Tony will just get it away. And now Palmer can get the afterburners on. The 120 is up. Wait on the extra time and added time and extra time. As England again, here's Ivan Toney over the bar. Not far away there, but again, still time. 1 added minute. We've about 35 seconds of that remaining. Is there one last chance? Or is it game over? Out to the right-hand side it comes. Suslov has to try and get past Esri Konsa. Suslov lifts it into the box. A hopeful one, the header. It's got not much pace on it from David Hanchko. And Jordan Pickford will grasp. And that could be it. Screaming in celebration at gathering that ball was Pickford. And that's it. They've left it late, but they did it in the end, England. Not in the conventional way, but in knockout football. You fight to the death, you never give up, and you find a way. And somehow England did. They hadn't had a shot on target until Jude Bellingham gave us a wonder of an equaliser inside the 95th minute before Harry Kane ultimately got the winner in the first minute of extra time. England's riling up a few as it's boiled over a bit at the full-time whistle. But after extra time, 120 minutes of football, England have done the business. And they're through to the quarter-finals. Neil Diamond is billowing out of the speakers in Gelsenkirchen. Final score after extra time. England 2, Slovakia 1. And there we are. Confirmation then. England through, and they will face Switzerland in the quarter-finals. They made it nervy for those England fans. But ultimately, Slovakia can be proud of what they've delivered. Ultimately going home. But another good performance. Ultimately this time ending in defeat. And now we turn our attention to Spain versus Georgia, which is going to get underway in less than 20 minutes. Do join us for that. We'll be live for that one in about 10 minutes time. Do stay with us. Thanks for your company for this one. Spain and Georgia on the way next.